We're glad you're all here. We want to welcome Windsor's Mayor, Nuchette Black-Burke, who has a little presentation that she'd like to read.
Yes, so I do have a presentation for Doug. I believe a few people know that Doug and we have a prior life together.
Yeah.
And in the prior life, he was amazing and dedicated and forthright. And even here at the Historical Society, you have continued in that same way. So thank you for being Doug. Thank you for being Doug, right? I wanted to present this to you on behalf of myself and the Town Council and the Town of Windsor. So it says, a proclamation honoring Douglas Shipman. Whereas Douglas Shipman has been Executive Director of the Windsor Historical Society since February 2020, where shortly after starting his new position, he led the Society through the COVID-19 pandemic, continuing to develop programs and meetings using social distancing and Zoom. Doug spearheaded the Society's centennial celebration successfully, despite a big storm that caused the large event tent to collapse on the scheduled date, and the next day, in bright sunshine, oversaw a wonderful community event. And whereas Doug has led the Windsor Historical Society in a new direction with an emphasis on inclusion and telling the stories of all people in Windsor, Doug has overseen the development of a board that is comprised of more than 50% people of color, added student representatives, and implemented intensive training for both board and staff in diversity, equity, and inclusion. And whereas Doug has created new programs and new spaces, including the Waka exhibit in the Chafee House, multiple programs on the town green, summer programming for children, musical events, and events for Juneteenth, including the reading by Fireflight of the Diary of James Mars, an enslaved man. And whereas Doug has overseen the improvements in ongoing care of the collections and buildings, developing with his staff innovative presentations and exhibits highlighting Windsor's history of all people, with an emphasis on telling stories that have often been untold, and therefore making the Windsor Historical Society a place where all people from the community can feel welcome and model for other and a model for other cultural organizations. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor and the Town Council of the Town of Windsor that Douglas Shipman is recognized, honored, and thanked for all of his contributions to the Windsor community through his dynamic leadership at the Windsor Historical Society. Signed, Nuchette Black-Burke, Mayor of Windsor, September 16th, 2024. We'll just say today's day.
Wow. Photo op. Michelle is our official photographer.
At this time, we want to open the floor that if there's any staff or board members that wants to say a few words. A few? Now is your time. A few. A few.
Teamwork. Team. Come on. Yeah, we're lauding his praises. We're lauding his praises. So Doug, noting that most of his staff are terrible introverts, decided to do most of our staff goodbyes and gift exchanges this afternoon in private to lead to less embarrassment for us all. Just beautiful, sentimental gifts. And same for him.
Yeah, we also gave a lovely T-shirt with the the famous Windsor Giant map with everybody's photo on it, which I feel like it was a really good representation of the progress that we have made as a historical society under Doug's leadership, just showing visually and really, impressively the diversity of the town in a way that, like none of us had thought of before. And it was such a cool project, and everybody is really proud to have been part of it.
Although we gave him a lot of grief because I kept saying to him, "Are you sure you want this to be 8 feet by 9 feet?" He's like, "Yeah, bigger is better."
Didn't fit in our museum. Didn't fit.
So, yeah. We were gonna give him the map actually, isn't it?
So thank you so much for meeting us.
Salima.
Dude.
I'll try not to cry, but I joined the Historical Society right after graduating from UConn, and I'm just so grateful to have worked with you all. It was such an incredible experience, and it was so great to have you as basically a mentor and lead me in so many different directions and be so inspiring, and I'm just so grateful to have worked with you and the whole team, and I will always think of the Historical Society, and I'm so grateful.
Oh,
So, you're still on the board. No, this is not my turn to make a speech, but you know, all the stuff on here that our wonderful mayor just read, these are the people that actually did it. Okay?
well,
You know that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Just to set the record straight. Just to set the record straight. All right.
Well,
Thank you.
oh, I'm definitely going to miss it. Well, what happened one day, we were talking about the Windsor Afro-American Civic Association, which was what it was started by Willie Graham because she wanted kids of color to get scholarships at the high school. And we realized it couldn't be political, so it had to be a social thing. So Doug saw me one day and he said, "Oh, you were involved with that." That's all we needed to hear. Where's my Sulima? Yes, come on back over here. Oh my God! Gonna try again. Oh yeah. So Doug said, "Oh Fiona, where are you? Oh Fiona, oh that's
She's laying low over there.
Fiona, we need you
big
too."
responsibility
She
for
changed
this.
her hairstyle, and I didn't recognize her until she turned around. So what happened was, from that little, the Windsor Afro-American Civic Association, Sulima got involved, and that's why Fiona. Come on over here. Come on over. Oh, come on over here. Yes. Believe it or not, this is her professor. I know, what a small world. So from that, the Filer House has the exhibit, which is still up. We've done so much work, diversity, and it's all because of all the people involved. But you have to have a leader. I don't care what anybody says. And he was a good leader.
This won't take long. A lot of stuff's been said. A lot of the accomplishments and have been said, so I won't be long. But there's one thing that it's usually not said, is that when they were having these discussions about the future, about where they're going to go, how they're going to, diversify the board, the collections, the exhibits, and how we get to that point. And there were essentially no people of color in those discussions.
Right.
Those discussions had to happen before we got there, which showed commitment. And one of the reasons, I think Christine had called me several years ago and wanted me to come on, and I just didn't feel like they were ready at the time. Because sometimes we get called for a lot of things and you're not really ready. But when they told me about the discussions they had, Doug's presentation, what their future was, what they were looking to do in the future. And I remember one of the things that Christine asked me when she was recruiting, she said, "How come no people of color come to our exhibits?" And I said, "You have to have something that they want to see." And that was, and I think that, I don't know if that triggered something, but it was like, it's honest, we don't want to hear about, white people that lived in the 1600s. Is that what we want to see? But we started having conversations, and I think Doug and I talked for a good hour and a half on the phone, just kind of probably feeling each other out a little bit. But I felt there was a commitment there. And sometimes when you can have all the great ideas, but if you don't have somebody who can direct you, keep you on the straight and narrow, keep reminding you, well, you said you were going to do this, and we're not, and this, what we're doing now is not leading to that goal. And for me, it was like Doug has always been that person to say, here's where we say we want to go, and we have to do it. You have to, you have to bring in more people. You have to have some other, some events that bring people in. It was like, sometimes people don't realize, where do all those Indian names come from in the streets of Windsor? Why is the last slave in Connecticut in a cemetery across the street from the Historical Society and nobody knows who that is? Right. So now when you come there, we not only tell you about the slave, the family that lived there, but also the people that served them. And we were a part of the Roots event, just recently. I mean, that's us reaching out. We'll come out and do presentations on Black military people from Windsor who fought in the wars that people didn't exist. And one thing that really was interesting tonight, Gail, who's the head of the library, when she left tonight, she says, I'm so glad you did this, because when I grew up, we didn't know there were Black people in Windsor.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was really, just hearing that tonight, it's like, wow. But anyway, for us, as Agnes said, the right person at the right time to make sure we kept on task, to take the commitment of diversifying seriously. This past year, we had our first youth member of our board of directors, who, coincidentally was the first person we ever sponsored for Chad Derby, and she won. And this year we have 2 more youth members who are elected to our board of directors, both of them from Windsor High and both members of ROTC. So we keep looking out for people to reflect the community that we serve. And I think it's been a wonderful journey. I know we're going to keep it going. Yeah. Right, Karen? So we're going to keep it going, and just want to thank everybody for coming. I hope this wasn't too bad, Doug. Here's your opportunity to say something if you like.
Oh my God.
No pressure.
Well, thank you, Randy.
5 pages?
Right. No, this is going to be short. But thank you all very, very much for coming. Well, maybe not that short, because I thought this would be a great time to do kind of a state of the society. So we're going to go back month by month over the last 4.5 years. Talk about each thing. No, just kidding. Anyway, but thank you all so much. Mayor Duchette Blackburk, thank you so much for the proclamation. Much appreciated. We have also our past mayor here. He's probably at the bar somewhere. John Trent's over there. But, I'm so excited about Carrie, successor, taking over as only the 4th director of Windsor Historical Society in the 104-year history of the organization. That says a lot. But Carrie, these are the community partners you'll be working with all the time to do the things you want to do. They're wonderful people. I could go name by name through each one of you and all the things you've done for Windsor Historical Society. It's a town with an amazing history, with amazing people. It's been, I can't tell you, every single day I loved coming to work. It was a joy to come to work. The fabulous staff who actually did all the things on the plaque that I didn't do, the wonderful volunteers, all of you, it's just amazing. Marcia Hinckley, who wrote still the only monograph on Windsor's Black history ever written, who allowed us to scan it in. I still remember Michelle Tom at the scanner feeding those friggin' pages into the scanner because they didn't go, and scanning it in to put it on the website so more people could read about Windsor's Black history. Thank you so much, Marcia. Just so many of you, fabulous partners like Jenny Horan, who's standing right here, doing what she does all the time, is video documenting things. Fiona, who I also had a history with before coming here and was so kind to come help us and lend a hand in getting our oral history program up off the ground. It's just so many of you doing all these great things. You're the ones that are making Windsor's history come to life. and you're the ones that are making it a more inclusive community. So thanks for being great partners with me in that. I did have some notes. I probably deviated from them a lot. Well, not that much. You know, retirement is one of those things where, like, I gave my notice 18 months ago, and it seemed like a good idea at the time. And I am so excited about my life with Roxana in Burlington. But it's sad. I tried hard not to cry when the staff gave me these amazing gifts today that I cherish and will always cherish. And I got another mug, Roxana. We just cleaned all the mugs on the mug cabinet last weekend. But, you know, I've been thinking for many, many months, how do I give back? And what can I give to you? Just to continue the work that we've done, to keep the work going. And so I thought about it a lot. And I have something for you. This is actually, it says Randy McKinney because he's president. Don't open it till I'm gone. But
oh, he's got yellow. He's got it highlighted in yellow.
This is a restricted gift to support the establishment of the President's Discretionary Fund at Windsor Historical Society. It is my intent that the President's Discretionary Fund be used as determined by the President in consultation with the Executive Director for expenditures that will benefit the Board of Directors, the staff, or volunteers of Windsor Historical Society. While this is a donor-restricted gift, the terms for its use as outlined above are quite broad, and this fund is not expected. Where's Michelle? I learned something at the Hartford Foundation.
Good, really, yay.
Is not expected to be held in perpetuity. Rather, it is to be used and spent. So it's been my great pleasure to have been associated with the wonderful people at Windsor and the Windsor Historical Society. And I hope that you will find some very creative ways to use this gift to their benefit.
Open that up. Well, we put a call out to staff, the board, and the community to see if anybody wanted to donate. And amazing, there were a lot of people who did.
Oh my God.
You gotta read it.
Thank you for all you have done for the Windsor Historical Society and our community. It's been said that a successful man is one who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks others have thrown at him. Oh, thanks. Mostly just Agnes. Thank you for taking our bricks and laying the foundation of inclusivity that has started us on our path to creating a place where you all are welcome. Now rest in peace. What? Oh, rest and please enjoy the gift. Wow. Oh my goodness. Thank you all. Thank you all. Wow.
Yes.
Woo, we're going to have some fun.
Yes.
Thank you.